Something changes in D. What has changed? It's a graph. But, Pardeep, what is every point on a graph? It's actually two numbers, isn't it? And what are those two numbers? X and Y. So this guy right here, this guy right here is what? Negative 3, 2. What's this guy? Negative 2, negative 1. What's this guy?
Negative 2, negative 3.
What's this guy?
Negative 2. Wait.
No.
0, negative 2.
0, negative 2. What's this guy? 1, 0. What's this guy? 2, 1. What's this guy? 3, 1. So now I want the domain and range. The domain is the set of the independent variable. Which is the independent variable? The x's or the y's. If you look on the left side of the page, you'll see the answer. The left side of the page that we drew this for. The x's are the independent variable. How do we write our domains? In what order? Numerical order. What goes first? The lowest x or the highest x? Where on a graph do you find the lowest x? On the left or the right? Very left. So what is our domain? Which is squiggly bracket x with that straight line. Negative 3, then what? Do I write negative 2 twice? No, because the value is only there once. What's next? There's a negative 1x. I don't see a negative 1x. So what's next? 0, then what? 1, then what? Then what? Well done. And then squiggly bracket. What's my range? What goes first? The highest or the lowest number? Where do you find the lowest y value on a graph, top or bottom? So what is it? Negative 3, then what? Then what? Then what? Then what? Then what? We write 1 twice? Then what? 2. Now, let me ask you this. These are all x's, yes? Everything highlighted in yellow is an x, right? Everything highlighted in green is a y, right?
Yes.
Are they still pairs?
Yes.
Yes or no? So you're telling me that this pair, negative 3, exists on the graph? No. Are they still pairs? No. Now they are elements of the set. Does everyone understand? Everyone's cool? Now the question becomes, is this a function or a relation? You got a 50-50 shot. Function is what we're all saying? Okay. So when I'm at negative 3 on the x, what's my dependent variable value? Is 2. Negative 3 goes to 2, yes? Function, right? One independent variable value, one dependent variable value. Agreed? Okay, when I'm at negative 2, negative 1, and negative 3. One independent variable with 2 dependent variables. Is it a function or a relation? It is a relation. Why? Why? Because at x equals negative 2, is x an independent variable or a dependent variable? Independent. It's the IV. There are multiple y values. And the y values are what? The dv. Everybody cool? Every x can only have how many y's if it's a function? 1. Can the y's have repeated x's? Yeah. But y's, folks, don't have repeated x's. Nothing? They're a tough crowd, Des. If you're wise, you don't want to have a repeated x. You want that person to be your x just once. All right. Now, I want to call your attention back. Cast your mind back to grade 6-ish. I know, you guys all say you can't remember 4 years ago. I'm 44. I remember kindergarten. You people can't remember 4 years ago, which is like a third of your life. That, well, actually, Braden, I know I sound like an old fart, but that is exactly what it is. Some of you may remember this construction in your math textbook. And then there was something like this on the top. And then, no. Then there was an arrow, and then there was a different shape with a math operation in it. And then there was a different shape with another math operation in it. And then you got to one of these.
Oh, it's like those things where you have the inputs and outputs.
That's exactly what it is. And your teacher called it the function machine. So you dropped in a number, 8. What comes out? 10. Right? You input 8, you output 10. No matter what number I put in here, I get a different number out here, yes? There is no other number I could put into the input and get 10, is there? So that makes this a function. That makes this my IV or my input. This is my DV or my output, because my output depends on what I did to the input. Everybody with me? So now we have yet another new word, right? Independent variable, dependent variable. Input, output. On graphs, they're X's and Y's, right? All right, and some of you have seen this. Fewer and fewer kids see it every year because elementary school teachers that still taught that are retiring. So did the person who showed you that, was she or he particularly old? But that's a bad thing to say because in grade 6 you thought everybody was old. Yeah, you did. You thought your teacher was old in grade 6, even if she or he was only like 30. Oh, that's rare. Yes, go. Blanket rule from now on. No more bathroom trips. So pee in your break. Well, either that or every time you ask me for help, I'm going to say, no, I got to go to the bathroom and leave. That is what I should do. But of course, I'm mature.
So no bathroom breaks during teaching.
No bathroom breaks during teaching. Don't even ask. Vertical line test. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is a little bit of a pain for you because you got to flip back and forth. Don't. Okay? Do not. Write this down, then I'm going to go back and show you what it means. Okay? A vertical line test only works on graphs. Please highlight that. Please underline it. Please put a Mrs. Bad Crumble cloud around it. I don't care what you have to do. And I better stop for a second because there's always half the kids in the class don't know what the word vertical means.
Up and down.
Right. that line. Okay. Whatever mnemonic device you have to remember what vertical and horizontal means.
I actually had to do this other day. Horizon, horizontal.
Yeah. Horizon, horizontal.
That was like yesterday. I was like, fuck, I don't know which
It just got recorded.
What?
Ladies and gentlemen, my special guest host, Desiree.
Thank you.
She'll be appearing here for a few more minutes. Are you almost done?
Almost done, like you want me to leave?
No. Almost done with this so we can converse
helmet.
again.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm almost done here.
I'm just going to literally take all the money I have in my purse. And
Don't
put it
give
in
her
my-
all the money you have in your purse.
Okay, well, it's
Oh,
not
some of
much.
it's changed? That's hilarious.
It's not much.
That's
I'll
funny.
tell you that.
All right. Yeah. Wow. Welcome to the club. So this only works on graphs. Now, ladies and gentlemen, here's how it works. A vertical line slid along the x-axis will only touch the graph once. So down here, let's draw a graph. Everybody draw the axes. And just draw a line on the graph that goes from right to left, any kind. So let's say I'm going to go like this, up, up, over. Everybody cool? Doesn't matter what your line looks like, yeah? No. This is the x and the y. Everybody cool? So there's my line on the graph, the red line, yeah? Now, I'm going to take a vertical line, and I'm going to make that vertical line a contrasting color, light blue. And I'm going to slide that vertical line along the x-axis. Stop. How many times does it hit the red line at any moment? Only once. So is that a function? Yes, because for every x value where that blue line is hitting, there is only one y value. Does everybody understand? That is a function. Now, I'm going to draw another line. Oops. I'm going to use a different color than black. And I'm going to take my same vertical line and slide it along there. How many times does it hit the green line? Once. Function. What happens there? It hits it 3 times. So at that x value, how many y values are there? 1, 2, 3. So is that a function? No, that is a relation. Everybody good? So, this right here is a graph, right? It's a little hard to see, but you should be able to see the thicker black dots, yes? Yeah. So, do this. Tell me if it's a function or not. Tell me why, and then tell me the domain and range. This one is one we've already done. This is the same as E on the last page. Go. Emma tried to tattle on me. She couldn't. Either. When I slide it along, I hit the green once, yes? Ignore that bottom green dot because it came along with me. How many green dots do I hit there? 2. How many there? 1. How many there?
2.
So this is what?
2.
This is a relation.
I was just saying numbers.
Now, I want the domain and range. Are the domains x's or y's? And the range is y's. Now, what is the first x I have to write? The biggest or the smallest, Amelia? And where does the smallest x live? Emma, you would ask me a lot less questions if you paid attention to this and not him. I don't care. You're not in trouble. Did I say Braden? Yes. No, I didn't. You would get in a lot less trouble if you actually listened to what I said. The two of you sitting together are slowly approaching the continuum of pissing me off, which means you will move.
Not while I'm here, guys.
What is Amelia has already told us that the first domain value will be the lowest one. Where does the lowest domain value live on a graph? On the left. Do I care about any of the up and downs right now? No, only the left. What is the lowest value? What's next? What's next? Do I write it twice? No, because it's only the value that matters. Then, and then I put my squiggly bracket. What are my y's? Negative 2. Negative 1. Do I write it twice? No. Do I write it twice? No. Next. 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 Please notice I have more domain values than I have range values because these are no longer pairs, are they? I am only counting the x values and I'm only counting the y values. Everybody understand? All right, now let's have a look at B and tell me what is different. How does B differ from A? Don't do any math, just tell me what's different about it. Amelia. It is indeed a function, because if I check with that vertical line, it only hits the blue line how many times? Once at any given moment. Yes, I'm not even going to do it because it didn't move along for me. So first of all, it's a function, yes? Now, what else is different? I know some of you have trouble seeing, looking at your piece of paper, so I'll show you both on the screen. What is different between A and B? Yes, Carmen, exactly. I know what she was saying. It wasn't the best sign language. If I was actually deaf, I wouldn't actually have known what you said. I think you just asked me for a burger and fries. But in actuality, what is different is the A is a series of points, isn't it? And B is a solid line, right? So our domain and range cannot be written this way, can it? Because in the original one, there's an x value, there's an x value, yes? Sorry, there's an x value, there's an x value. Is there anything in between? No. Now let's look down here. There's an x value. There's an x value, yes? But are there x values all the way in between? Yes. Right? If I go to this x value, do I have a y value? If I go to this x value, do I have a y value? If I go to this x value in the middle, do I have a y value? So I have a y value for every x value, don't I? So how many x values are there between there and there? How many values are there between 0 and 1? Of course I'm counting decimals. How many values are there between 0 and 1? Infinity. Would it be possible to list this? No, because we couldn't list all those values, could we? So we have to write it differently. So our x value still starts this way. Still starts with our lowest value. What is it? What's the lowest x value on this graph? -3. What's the highest x value on this graph? +3. And all the x's are in between them, aren't they? So I put an x in between it. Now, I got to do something you haven't seen since the 9th grade. -3 is less than x, isn't it? Right? Because -3 is on the left of all of my x values, agreed? But x is what? Less than 3. Right? Because there are no x's bigger than 3. Everybody cool? Now, there's one other rule here. This is a colored in dot, yes? So that means x actually hits 3. So this is less than or equal to, and less than or equal to. You all should have seen that in the 9th grade, greater than, less than, at least in the 9th grade. You should have seen it before. Now, let me ask you this. What do you think would happen if this dot right here wasn't colored in? Do I actually hit 3? No. So if that dot's not colored in, what do I write here instead? And I'm going to do that in purple. -3 what? Not greater than, it's still on the left. Less than x with no equal sign. Everybody understand? And this one up here, big purple dot. Don't color it in. Now what would I write there instead? Less than 3. Everybody cool? Now, knowing what you know, because that was the x values, I want the range, don't I? As well? So, y, what's my lowest y value now? You guys all have i's. What is the lowest y value? -2, right there, yes? So what do I write first? -2. Is that dot colored in? So it is less than or equal to what? Y, because I'm counting y's now. And it goes up to what? 3. Is that dot colored in? So what sign do I put here? Less than, because it points left. Do I need the equals? Yes. Everybody cool? Now, let's change that slightly. I'm going to make this not colored in now. What happens to the y? Is it still -2? Do I hit it? So what do I put here? Just the arrow. Y. Then I go all the way up to 3. Is that one still colored in? So what do I write there? Less than or equal to 3. Is everybody good? Okay. Have a look at 81. Tell me what's different.
What did you guys do last weekend?
Oh, we went to Kamloops for Best Rugby.
Oh, nice.
And then we had family dinner in Vancouver.
Oh, that's
It was busy. We drove from... She finished rugby at 3 at Kamloops, or 2 in Kamloops. Then we had to go to dinner Sunday night in Vancouver.
good.
And then last night I went to Seattle for a show.
What show?
Sabaton. You don't think it's cool. You don't know who they are.
I
So it
have
doesn't
no
matter.
idea.
I was actually a little mad. There's a band I like better that also played in Seattle last night, but my buddy was like, will you come to Seattle with me? Because he loves that band. And nobody will go to Seattle. They're playing Vancouver tonight. He didn't even ask me to go to the Vancouver show because he knew I would go to the Seattle show and he could find other friends to go to the Vancouver show. I'm actually a little miffed about it. Oh, that's getting recorded. I hope he doesn't watch it. He won't. He's a teacher in the school. He knows how to do math. Yes. Okay, this one's pretty easy to tell me if it's a function or not, is it? Yeah, it's a function. Of course it is. But now something weird happens, yes? So I need to do my x's first. What's my lowest x? It's this tricky. What's my lowest x value? Everybody says it wrong. Close. -30. Now, do I hit -30? How do you know? It's a colored in dot. So I start at -30 and I hit -30, don't I? And then I go along here and you can see all the way along I have x values, yes? Till when does it stop? -10. Do I hit -10? How do you know? It's not colored in. So what symbol goes here? Less than. It points to the left. X is less than negative 10 because all of these x's are on the left of negative 10, right? Now, what weird thing happens right here? Is there another x value? Does it start again? What value is that? 0. Does it hit 0? How do you know? Colored in. So I use that symbol, X. And what does it go up to? You can see that it covers all the way up to what? Does it hit 30? No. Now, we know that the domain is a set, yes? But I can quite plainly see here that I have two different sets, don't I? So I have to use this symbol, a big U. It is that set and that set. And the U stands for union. Everybody cool? Now let's say you forget that big U and you just go and. Am I going to take marks away from you? Of course not, because the concept is domain and range. Now I've done the domain, so what do I got to check now? So where do I look for range, Carmen? On the X's or the Y's? Y's. And what goes first, the biggest or the smallest? So I go to the Y axis and I find the lowest value. What is it? Negative 20. Do I hit negative 20? How do you know? It's colored in. What goes here, Y or X? Y. And I go up to where? What's that value? 0. Do I hit 0? How do you know? It's not colored in. Now, does it start again? Starts again right there, right? So do I need a big U? And what's that value? This one right here. 10. Do I hit 10? How do you know, Emma? Huh? Okay. How do I know I don't hit 10? It's not colored in. So no equals Y. And what does it go up to? Do I hit 30? How do you know? So less than or equal to 30. And now I'm done. Everybody good? You put all of that together and see if you can figure out D. And that's it for today. You'll have no homework. Well, that's actually not true. You're going to have a bit of homework. Because I forgot it's a short day. The assignment or the work I'm going to give you doesn't take very long, but it's a short day, so you're going to end up with some homework. But fortunately, you can't get a bus home, and your parents don't expect you home till 2:24. You've got a whole extra hour. You could sit right here and do your work. The buses are coming early?
Yeah.
Oh, my morning class said they weren't coming early.
Why do you guys have a short day?
Well, so I can call all their parents and tell them how spectacularly they're doing. Of course, I do that every 2 weeks on Check My Mark. Every time you write a test, I email every parent that I have their emails for. I don't know. If I do, they know what you're getting. I know. They should have your check my progress. Yep.
And like, like the domain range, can you put domain square line and then that and then
Yeah. Okay. First of all, is this a function? How do we check? We take that vertical line, yeah? So let's slide it along the graph. Is it a function? Yes, 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 yes.
No.
Now there we're in trouble, aren't we? Or are we? What does that little circle mean? That's not colored in. It doesn't exist. So is this a function? Yes. This is a function because when x equals negative 3, that's the point, right? Y is positive 3. It doesn't jump up to here until negative 2.9999999. Everybody understand? Even the people that are staring at their phones, whose names I'm not going to mention, but when they ask for help, and I know in my head who those people are, you know I will not be assisting you, right? Just making sure that's out there. Because if you don't want to pay attention to me, that's fine. That's your choice. But no bitching and moaning when you bring home 35%, right? Okay. So, what is my domain? Which is my what? Lowest or highest x or y value? Lowest which? X. Where is my lowest x value on this graph? It is right here. It is negative 6. Do I hit negative 6?
No.
How do you know?
It's not filled in.
It's not filled in. So negative 6, x. Now, let's go along here. Do I have an x value all the way to negative 3? Yes. Does an x value start again right away? Yes. Does an x value start again right away? So where does my actual x values end? Positive 6. Do I hit positive 6? How do you know? It's colored in. So that is my domain. Now, what is the range values? They're the y's, yeah? What's the lowest y value that I have? 3. Are there any y values in here? Are there any y values? The next one isn't until 6, is it? So can I use these arrows? No, because it's 3, or it's 6, or it's 9. And I cannot use the arrows because I only have dots. Does everyone understand? All right, now listen carefully, please. On the next page is a crap ton of practice with the answers, right? Okay? You only have to do these two right now. They're not even graphed. Do you have to do all A, B, C, and D, and A, and B? Do you? They're exactly the same questions, aren't they? So try a couple. Check the answers. If you're getting them, you're getting them. I don't want you to do 9 and 10 yet. Or I think it's only 9 I have on there. Do not do 9 yet. That is going to come after tomorrow. Clear? So you have, by my count, about 10 minutes in this class still. That should be more than enough time to do that, which should leave you with no homework, right? Go.